Oh my God, you guys, come and sit down and shut the door. Big Sean, we are calling you to the carpet. Y'all, people think they've cracked the code on why Big Sean actually left Jhené. And no, it's not because she might have cheated. Because somebody as low down as Big Sean that left, came back, went around the corner, came back, went to sleep, took a nap, and came back. Baby, please, please. But people are saying it's actually something more insidious. It is the fact that, and I know, hear me out, the real reason why they split apart. Jhené lost her home. Yeah. Jhené lost her home. See, we can roll back and get into this. I don't care that she never got the ring. Marriage is not everybody's goal. And to be honest, they've been together for 15 years, which is way longer than 80% of people's marriages, minus our parents, right? Different generation. So that's that. To be with anybody for 15 years, okay, you already had a relationship. You had a son. I think the son just turned 3. Okay. But throughout that relationship, there were two things, right? Jhené was always, or is it Jhené? Jhené? I think it's Jhené. Jhené was always very, very independent. She had her own money, her own career. She supported her whole family. Her family, her daughter and stuff. All Sean had to do was just come and exist, and not even exist, but be worshiped. The issue isn't, in my mind, and just put my thesis out here for my TED Talk, that the issue in my mind isn't the fact that she is 10 years without a ring. That ring don't mean nothing. People be acting like once you get a ring on your finger and that man's name is husband, all of a sudden he gonna change for the better and love you down. Like, you got the same ninja you did before. After the caterer leaves and everybody takes their to-go plates and their goodie bags, you got the same man. The issue is, and I will always maintain this, that is embarrassing, is the fact that a man like Big Sean that caused so much strife, how much did he actually invest into you? Because when a man invests into the relationship, when he leaves, you don't really feel that bad because you've been invested into, whether that is emotionally, financially, no, physically don't count, right? But emotionally and physically, if that man invested in you, then you feel like, all right, it was an experience. We can go our separate ways. Damn, that's crazy, but we can go our separate ways. So just hear me out. With Jhené, we'll call her Jay. With Jay, right? Jhené, yeah. With Jhené, she literally went and invested everything in this man, got his face tattooed to prove she cared, loved him down, took him back every time he left, bore him a child, gave him everything you could. And he's still sitting up there talking about, oh no, cause let me tell you something that my dad said in relationship. If it's not a yes, if it's not a hell yes, baby, that's a no. If it's not a hell yeah, that's a no. It can't even be a yes. It got to be a yeah. Because if not, that's a no. And if it's a no, turn around and walk away and find someone that's screaming, hell yeah, right? Sean never did that. And that doesn't mean he doesn't care about her. But it means that, hear me out, but to loop this around, as long as she was pouring into him, he was fine to lap it up. He was fine to lap it up because she was pouring into him. He was healing him. He was giving him, she was pouring into him emotionally, physically. You know that girl's a healer, right? I'm probably putting it on him too. And she hella easy on the eyes, right? I will say one thing. They are a beautiful couple in pictures. You could not deny that. Seeing them together, chef's kiss, right? They look like prom king and prom queen. I see why when she's ready to leave, she probably looked at the pictures and was like, oof, but we look so good together. But here's where things change. When her house burned down, she had a multi-million-dollar house that she had put her blood, sweat, and tears in. So many memories from her brother that passed away. I'm talking about like actual physical things. Family heirlooms, tokens, memories. You know she is a sentimental person. That woman is a Pisces. You know everything that meant something significant in her life was in that house. It all burnt to the ground. On top of the financial loss, which is a few million, there was also the loss of the life that she built. There was also the loss of the life that she built. And when fires happen, it is very, very devastating. And before, when she could give Sean all her attention, all her love, all this, he didn't have to worry about how she was going to eat, where she was going to be sleeping, nothing. He would come and get the back rub. He would come and she'd be like, baby, let me pour into you. But for the first time in their relationship, for the first time, she needed him, this is what sources are saying, to pour into her, to make her feel loved, to make her feel secure, pour into her financially and pour into her emotionally. And Big Sean, who has been very historically emotionally unavailable, Big Sean said, that's a little bit too much. And he couldn't rise to the occasion. And they're saying Big Sean did not leave her. She left him because for the first time after seeing everything she had wiped out, and she really needed a rock. She didn't need a lover. She didn't need a best friend. She needed a man. She needed a rock. She needed somebody to protect her while she was in the center of the storm. She needed safe harbor. She needed emotional and financial stability. And Sean, they're saying he crumbled. He couldn't give it. Now, there are hints that these rumors might be true, because let's also not forget, right? And everybody's so sure that he left her. I was too. But then when I saw this angle, I was like, yo, this actually makes sense. Let's not forget in Naya Rivera's memoir, you know, that's the girl when he left Jhené, when he left Jhené. Sorry. Oh my God. When he left her, Naya Rivera asked her to marry her. You know, they had a very tumultuous relationship. But in her memoir, one thing she kept always saying was he was very emotionally unavailable. He was very distant, almost to the point of being selfish, almost to the point of being narcissistic. For instance, she recalls getting a phone call in the middle of the night that one of her Glee co-stars, who was a very, very good friend, had died. And what happened? She broke down in tears. She started freaking out. It came out of the blue. He literally looked at her, said, she rolled over and was like, what's wrong with you? And she's like, so-and-so just died. And he was like, damn, that's crazy. And rolled right over to go back to sleep and seemed to be annoyed with her that she was even waking him up during the sleep for this tragedy. Did not try to console her, did not try to say, and the next day didn't try to say nothing. He literally was like, damn, that's crazy, and rolled over. This is the type of emotional support he gave his wife. He asked her to marry her. His wife. I'm sorry, his future wife, his fiance. So imagine the support he gave Jhené, right? Imagine the support he gave her during one of the most harrowing times. Jhené, as much as people like to, yeah, okay, so what? She got a baby by Omarion's brother. And we are in 2025. You can't be serious. And you know, the funny thing is the people is just like, oh, she got a baby. Y'all probably, you know what? It doesn't matter. It's 2025. Grow up. Okay, she had a baby by Omarion's brother. Okay. She got married right after her brother died because she was grieving and clung on to this other person. They realized that they were friends and they left with no animosity. We're looking at cheating. She's saying, I was in a relationship, never. And unlike a lot of people being like, you was married. Can you stop acting like marriage is a spiritual bond when the people entering in are not on some spiritual bond stuff? Marriage, husband, father, those are just titles. They mean nothing. Loving marriage, maybe that means something. Loving husband, supportive husband, faithful husband, that means something. Father, dad, loving, supportive, involved, active dad, that means something. But so many people are only worried about titles. In any case, right? They're saying that when she lost everything, he was not there emotionally and he could not bear the burdens financially. Again, when she stopped being convenient, when she stopped being of use to him, when she stopped being his mama, lover, best friend, healer, spiritual, put it up, that's when he couldn't rise to the occasion. And she said, you know what? It's been how many years? And we've been through how much? And I've been for you, and you still haven't changed. You still haven't grown. You know what? It's for the birds. I'll talk to you later. Now, here's the thing. They might, okay? Now, here's the thing. They might end up reconciling. These people are the epitome of making up, break up to make up. But every single time it's required that to happen, she has to get a lobotomy. She has to forget herself. She has to put her anger and her feelings and her emotions to the side and reconcile. And sometimes she's with the 𝐿 and giggles, and sometimes she's not. And everybody's saying she is not with the 𝐿 and giggles this time. Again, you want to see, and after 10 years, I guess she's like, nah, it was cute before when I didn't need to actually depend on you, when we could do this 50-50 mess. But now that I really, life is getting real and I 100% have to depend on you, yeah, I'd rather just depend on myself, because at least I know where I stand with myself. So shout out to Jhené for doing everything to benefit her. Because at the end of the day, it's what Sean's been doing for all his life. And again, it puts to rest the rumors that he left because this, that. No, she was the actual one that left. And it's a litmus test. You want to see how much somebody cares about you? Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid. Ask them something. Ask them to help you. I'm talking about the man you with, right? Ask him to help you. Say your rent's late. Say you don't got any money. Say you need gas money. Say that you just want to order some takeout and can you get the password to their DoorDash? Ask a man you care about and that you think that he's all that. Ask him for help. Now, be realistic. If he is not Hugh Hefner, no, don't say Hugh Hefner. If he is not Jeff Bezos, don't ask him for a yacht. Be realistic. But if he got a DoorDash account, ask him, can you get the login so you can get yourself lunch? Because that, in true, 9 times out of 10, is truly how the man feels about you. Again, don't trick yourself into thinking that you're the one just because you're making yourself convenient. Because they are with you out of that convenience. And again, at least she found out now why she's still young. She still got her beauty. She still got her talent. She don't need him. But I'm just saying, go ahead, do the test and let me know what happens in the comments. Anyway, you guys, shout out to Jhené for standing up for herself and actually picking herself first. Let's hope this sticks. But if it's not, girl, it's her life. It's her life. It's her life. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye.